Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's edition of the CrossFit Games Update Show. I'm Sean Woodland with Pat Sherwood and Tommy Marquez as we kick off a flurry of preview activity as we are now just about a month away from the CrossFit Games. Today, we're starting with the 14 to 15-year-old teenage division for the boys. And the cool thing about the teenage division is that in other sports, you have minor league teams and you get to see the up-and-coming stars, before they hit it big. And that's really what we're getting to see here with the teenagers.
And these kids really epitomize, a lot of times when you talk to somebody about CrossFit, one of the first things they'll say is, man, I wish I found it earlier. Well, these are the kids that did, and to see what they can do after getting into it so young, it's crazy.
And I love that we're seeing athletes show up at the games in these divisions from all over.
Yeah.
Even in this division, we got, an athlete that's coming from Latin America, so it's not just a North America thing.
Yeah, we have 4 teenage divisions in the top 10 in each division go to the CrossFit Games out of the open. And in the 14 to 15-year-old division for the boys, it was close at the top of the leaderboard. Just 5 points separate first place Vincent Ramirez from third place Dylan Cade, and then Tim Pearson is sandwiched between the two of those. And then the next closest person is in fourth place. That's Tiago Felix. He has 50 points. But when you look at those top 3 boys, who do you think the front runner is between them?
I think somebody you just mentioned has to be Vincent Ramirez. This kid is first coming out of the Open in 2016. He went to the Games last year where he took third place. He finished second last year in the Open. He had 2 event wins, so he is on the rise.
And you look at some of his numbers, he absolutely loves the heavy barbell. He had a 210-pound thruster at the Games.
I mean, honestly.
And no surprise, at 15 years old, he's 5'10", 175. He's practically Froning size already. But I want to see him improve in some of the longer workouts. Last year at the Games, he struggled in the long chipper. This year in 16.4, he was 50 reps behind Tim Pearson, who's chasing him down. So I definitely want to see him improve in some of the longer time domains.
Pearson and Cade were right behind him in the Open, and those are 2 boys who certainly have a chance to challenge him for the top spot on the podium.
Pearson for sure, yeah. Second place, just 2 little points behind Ramirez. Very well-rounded athlete. He had 2 first places in the Open on events number 1 and 4. He was 5th place at the Games last year. His worst finish was a 7th. He had 4 top 5 finishes. So young kid, but well-rounded and bright future.
And right behind him on the leaderboard, a guy who's going to be a newcomer at the Games, Dylan Cade. He didn't actually finish the Open last year. He only did the last 2 workouts, but he kind of gave us a glimpse of what we were going to see this year. In 15.4, he was 8th overall in his division. In 15.5, 29th. This year, for the 5 open workouts inside the top 5, he had 3 second-place finishes. His one bad finish was the 17th in 16.3, where just 3 more reps would have moved him 11 spots up to 6th. Outside of that workout, he was actually better across the other 4 tests than Ramirez and Pearson were, so I'm looking forward to seeing him compete.
Anything can happen when we get to Carson. Looking outside the top 3, who is somebody you think might be able to get into that fight for the top spot?
I like Jake Carlile. Okay, this is going to be his first time competing at the Games. Out of the opening, he took 7th place with good finishes overall, except for he took 30th on workout number 2. But I like his story. So he wrote on his profile that when he was 13 years old, he was very overweight. His dad took him down to the local CrossFit affiliate, dropped a ton of weight, and now fast forward a couple years, he's not only slimmed down, but he's going to be competing at the CrossFit Games.
Probably already doing a bunch of stuff that I can't do too.
Yeah, of course.
Which, of course, is not hard. But hey, we're just getting started. There are 3 other teen divisions to talk about. Tomorrow we'll be back to talk about the 14 to 15-year-old girls division. The Games get started with the teenagers on Tuesday, July 19th. Tickets are still available. Remember, this might be the last year we are in Carson, California for the CrossFit Games, so get your tickets now, games.crossfit.com. That's it for us for today. For Pat Sherwood and Tommy Marquez, I'm Sean Woodland. See you tomorrow with a preview of the 14 to 15-year-old girls division.